healthy hips. This is a quick 10-minute flow to stretch out those hips, get you prepared for any activity you're going to do today. So coming to a comfortable seated position, eyes closed, let's set the intention for this practice, this next 10 minutes. And then coming up to tabletop position, we're going to do some cats and cows. So inhale, arching your back, our gaze is lifted. Exhale, pushing the ground away from you, rounding out the back. Inhale, we arch our back for cat. Exhale, rounding it out for cow. Following your own breath here. Inhale, making sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, hips over the knees. And then just coming back to a neutral spine position after this last exhale. We're going to do some donkey kicks. So left leg up at a 90-degree angle, left foot flexed, and pulse for 10. Kicking that foot directly up in the air, even pressure in our hands. Bringing the foot down, we're going to do clamshell. So opening up the knees, but keeping those inner feet glued together. Once again, we're going to do 10 on this side, feeling a nice burn in our outer hip here. Neutral spine position, core is engaged, just opening and closing those knees. Feet still glued together. Now switching sides, we'll start again with the donkey kicks. Leg at a 90-degree angle, foot flexed, and kicking up for 10. Engaging our core here, keeping the back straight, following our own pace, and then unhooking the toes, gluing the feet together, and starting our clamshells for 10. Once again, a nice neutral spine, even pressure in both of your hands, shoulders above your wrists, just focusing on that outer hip. Good. Now we're going to come back into a downward dog. So shoulders away from the ears, fingers spread wide, coming onto our toes, bending our knees. You're going to glue your stomach to the tops of your thighs and just pedal out your feet. So coming onto pointed toes and then lowering one heel to the ground and the opposite. Back and forth, really feeling out the backs of those legs, stretching through your hamstrings. And then we're going to inhale, raise that left leg to the sky and sweep it through for pigeon. So coming onto the outer left shin, and then our back leg straight behind us. Our toes are untucked. Our front leg, left foot is flexed. The closer it is to your groin, the easier the stretch. The more parallel it is to the front of your mat, the harder the stretch. If your left hip isn't all the way to the ground, you can take a block or a pillow, something to support yourself. You can also put that directly underneath you. And whenever you've found that position, just go ahead and lay your head down for resting pigeon on your forearms, on your hands, on the mat, whatever that may be, and just focus on your breathing. We tend to hold a lot of emotions in our hips. We sit all day long, carry all of that baggage with us. So I just want you to let it all melt away here. Inhale, coming up. Releasing the blocks and the pillows and pushing back into your downward facing dog. Switching sides, our right leg comes high to the sky and we sweep it through for pigeon on the other side. Keeping that front foot flexed, our back leg is straight, our hips are parallel, and once we've found that balance, taking the block if we need it, just coming down to our resting pigeon, focusing on the breath. I know you may experience some discomfort in this one. That's totally normal. But just breathe through all that discomfort. Imagine yourself exhaling, letting go of all the tension in your body, all of those stored emotions, releasing everything as you melt into this pose. Following your breath. And when you're ready, coming back up, and we're going to do cow face pose. So now taking that left leg, crossing it over your right knee. So your left leg's going to be down on the ground. Your right leg is crossed over top. So you should feel a nice stretch in that outer right hip. Now your gaze is going to be up at the sky. You can either join your hands on your back, or if you don't have that shoulder flexibility, simply rest them on your feet and feel the counter pose of pigeon. Now to switch sides, we're going to come up on those legs and just turn all the way around to the other side. So now the opposite leg should be on top. And once again, our gaze is lifted, feeling that stretch in the outer hip. Deep breath here. And when you're ready, bringing your feet out in front of you for half Lord of the Fishes. So crossing that right leg over your left foot, we're going to go for a little twist. So right arm behind you, gaze over that right shoulder, and our left elbow comes to the knee. We're twisting through the core. We inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Coming back to center, unhooking that right foot and switching sides. Left foot crosses over the right leg, left arm planted behind you, and then using that elbow to push your knee into a further twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And when you're ready, coming back to center, both feet come to the ground. And then we're just going to come all the way back to supine position. So laying down at the mat, you're going to bring your heels close towards your butt, palms down to the ground, pushing your hips up to the sky for bridge. Now there's a couple different options you can do for this. You can stay here, or you can grab a block or some type of support system and just put it on your lower back, on your sacrum here. Give yourself a little bit of a boost, okay? Now it's a supported position, so this is something you can do in bed. This is something you can do to relieve pain in your lower back and, of course, in your hips. Now we're going to do those pulses we were doing earlier. So dips. We're going to do 10 here in the bridge. Just tapping your butt lightly on the ground as you push back up, engaging your glutes, engaging your inner thighs as you're squeezing those knees together. And then releasing the block, coming all the way back down to the ground. Taking a deep breath. Inhaling that right leg high to the sky, and we're going to do some hip circles. So circling out, and then switching sides, circling back in. Our right foot is flexed, our left knee is still bent. And then we're going to do some leg lifts. So with that left knee bent, right leg straight, lifting the leg up, engaging your core, stretching out the backs of those legs, really just moving all in that hip flexor. And switching sides, our right foot comes down to the ground, right knee bent, left leg up, and hip circle. Foot flexed, 3 times out, 3 times in. Feeling all in that ball and socket joint, waking it all up, and then leg lifts. So with that right leg still bent, left leg straight, just lifting the leg to the sky, engaging the core, stretching out the backs of the legs. And this can also be done with both legs. More of a core exercise here, keeping those feet flexed, bending your knees if you have to. And just raising your legs back and forth, keeping that lower back pressed to the ground. Now, coming into figure 4. So with that left leg bent, our right ankle over our left knee, we're just going to push our hips away from us. So try and open that up, pushing away, and then pulling the knee towards you. So figure 4 stretch here, getting into that outer right hip. And then bringing that left leg down, and we're just going to twist. So keeping your right ankle crossed over your left knee, just bring that right foot down to the ground, opening up that lower back a little bit. Bringing it back to center, switching sides, left ankle over the right knee, and just push your hips away from you. Opening up all that space, and then pulling them towards you. So interlacing your fingers behind that right knee and pulling, opening up that outer left hip. And then keeping that figure 4, you're going to go ahead and twist your legs down to the side. Opposite arm comes out, gaze over that shoulder as you